Hello, everybody. Prince Alagorn of Aquilonia here, and I just got back from C2E2. And okay, so the artwork that I got, I'm actually going to wait a few days on. I want to see if I can get my my Vita or possibly my 3DS, which have better cameras. I want to see if I can use those to see if I can take better quality pictures of them. Get my easel set up. Yes, I have an easel. I did take a drawing for a year in school, which, yeah, I haven't practiced that in a long while. Like, I think I could still do some of the basics, but that's pretty much all we did was basics. Like, I could probably draw you a table or a dresser that looks okay, but we didn't do anything with anatomy or perspective or anything like that. Yeah, and I was supposed to use this class to help me try to learn how to do comics. Yeah, that didn't work out that well. But yeah, no, get the artwork that I got, put it on an easel, try to take decent quality photos than what I can do with this fucking potato cam. And yeah, so it might be a couple of days. I might even wait till next weekend to try to do it. But you will see it. It's just that I also wish I would have gotten some of these guys as business cards because I'm not going to be able to give some of them the credit that they deserve. But I will say that we had some spectacular artists this year at the convention. So if you come to C2E2, always make sure to check out Artist Alley. You'll find a lot of good prints for relatively affordable prices. Heck, some of them even do commissions for relatively affordable prices. Um, so, with all that said, let's move on to today's haul. Oh, also, I did shoot a couple of videos and I took a couple of photos on my Vita, which is another thing, is I'm trying to get the device management stuff worked out so I can transfer those over and show you guys. But yeah, let's move on. I said that. Hold on just a second. There we go. I said that I was going to show you guys the shirts that I got today. So, everything's off to the side. My bed is an absolute mess right now. But I'm doing it because I want you guys to both know and appreciate yeah. We Love Fun did a really good job with packaging their stuff this year. So just give me a second to open it. There we go. There's the first one. And let's see if you can see it better. It's Dashy! Which, actually, I think this is the first thing with Rainbow Dash that I've ever gotten. Normally I don't do Rainbow Dash because everybody does Rainbow Dash. But I actually like the way that one turned out. And it was the only MLP one that they had this year. So I couldn't resist. And then my next one is, oh, I'll show you the back. It's got the C2E2 logo on it. But it's Marceline from Adventure Time. And yeah, I love the way that this one turned out. Anytime you have Marcy with the base, I'm always interested. Yeah, so I couldn't really pass that one up. Next one, complete with the creative license, which isn't going to show up that well because, again, potato cam. But from Dr. David Mack. Shit. This one is going to be a little bit harder to see, but it's from Kabuki. It's a picture of her with her sickle and her name off on the side. So, yeah. And then from the always amazing David Peterson. Yeah. Let's see. We have Mouthguard, and I can't tell if you can actually see this one that well, but I'll just read it for you. It says, the banner on it says, "It matters not what you fight, but what you fight for." I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so I got some more DVDs. I did not get Madoka Magica like I was thinking about doing. Yeah, that's an entire rant onto itself, but let's just say that I thought about it really hard, and I can't justify paying the frankly extortionary prices that frickin' Aniplex wants you to pay for their bullshit. And that's what it is. It's extortionary prices. And it's not Anime Depot that was charging $140 for the complete Madoka Blu-ray. I know it's Aniplex because that's what they do. They will charge you double what anyone else is if you want the same amount of product. And Madoka is only a 12-episode series. There's no reason at all it should even be close to $100. If it were Funimation or Sentai Filmworks, they'd be charging you about $40 to $50 for that set. But this being Aniplex, if you know how they priced the individual DVDs and Blu-rays, they were charging you about $50 to $70 for 4 episodes per disc. Yeah, because that's what they do. They charge you full price for half the fucking product. So instead, I ended up getting Higurashi Kai. Because if you follow me on Tumblr, you know how much I love Higurashi. But I hadn't actually gotten around to seeing Kai or Rei yet. Actually, I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have Ray somewhere, but I can't find it because I told myself that I wasn't going to actually watch it until I saw Kai, just in case something happens in these chapters that affects that one that would have me too lost to know what the hell is even going on. I also got Fate Stay Night, which, if you follow me on Tumblr, again, is a series you know that I love. Now, I'm hoping this one is not the same as the 2006, which I already have on Blu-ray. I don't think it is. There is not a hint of Studio Dean anywhere in the credits on this. It's actually attributed to TBS Animation. So I'm pretty sure this one is probably the same as the one that aired on Netflix a few years ago that everybody was raving about. Because apparently myself and maybe Arcada are the only ones that seem to actually not mind the 2006 Studio Dean Fate Stay Night. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go over some stuff that I got that's not signed. That's not one of them. It's not that much compared to yesterday. Um, so what I got is this miraculous ladybug, the trash kraken. This is the first collection of the hand-drawn uh, miraculous comic. If you know Action Lab Comics, they've actually got quite a few Ladybug comics, but they're all Cinecomics. Um, Not bad if you haven't actually watched the series or don't have access to it, but it's not really what I've been wanting because I will spend the money on the season set. It just came out in February. Yeah. Now the fact that season 2 is going to be on Netflix is a little bit of an issue, but I got my aunt living with me now, and she has Netflix, so I might be bumming her password. Because it's not just Ladybug, there's also a lot of other things on Netflix that I need to watch and haven't gotten around to. And since I don't really watch TV that much these days, I can just access Netflix off the computer and watch it on here. Oh, sorry if I'm scratching my nose a little bit too much. I actually got a scab from something on the bottom side, and it's driving me freaking crazy. I think it's from picking at dry skin because it has not felt like spring yet. It felt more like spring at the beginning of March than it does now at the beginning of April. That's supposed to change by Wednesday, but right now we're looking at possibly snow overnight. Joy! Welcome to the Midwest, where whatever climate pattern you think you understand, you don't. Ain't nobody's figured this shit out. Okay, so speaking of Fate Stay Night, the other unsigned thing that I got today is the Fate Complete Material character material. Last C2E2, I got the art material, so I figure Of course, they don't. People I got this from don't have the entire collection, so I could round it out. Not that I could afford to. These are $45, $45 a piece. But yeah, no. So let me just open it and show you what you get with it. Uh, you get, of course, your design photos. There's sketches in the back. Um, there's a section on weapons, but the main things of interest are you get with your design sheets, you get the character bio, you get a relationship chart, and let me turn the page here for Gilgamesh. Uh, you get a little interview with Nasu and Takeuchi about the creation of the characters and what goes into the design of them, which is always nice, fun bits of information to have. And trust me, a thing like this is really good if you're trying to just get into Fate because, oh my god, the lore in this series is so deep because by now it's been added onto so many times. Also, it's worth it just to look at the freaking art because the art in the Fate series is always just spectacular. Uh, and if you haven't played the games, they also feature very hot hentai scenes. So with that out of the way, I guess now we can move on to what I got signed. Okay, so I told you about the True Paranormal comic anthology yesterday. Okay, so I actually got on Built on Strange Ground, and yes, it is about haunted houses. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, let me go to the table of contents real quick. Oh, 91. Yep. And again, I got Dirk Manning's story signed. And yeah, again, like with the other one, I said that I might review it if it happens to turn out good enough. Same with this. I'm always up for good horror comics, especially if they're urban legend or true story based. Uh, I got from Tim Hanley. I've got his collection of history books on the three main women of DC Comics. We got The Many Lives of Catwoman, we've got Wonder Woman Unbound, and we've got Investigating Lois Lane. And again, as I said, they're complete histories of Catwoman, Wonder Woman, and Lois Lane. And uh, with me, of course, I love myself my expanded materials, criticism, guidebooks, all of that kind of stuff when it comes to franchises that I'm really into. It's not the first time I've gotten stuff like this. I actually have a bunch of books on similar topics because that's just kind of what I do. When I really get into something, I try to find supplemental materials on it to help me understand it deeper, to help me understand what critics and fans alike think about it. Just all of that good shit. Let's see here. Okay, the 25th anniversary Terry Moore sketchbooks, which I got signed by Terry. I don't really talk about it enough, but I frickin' love Terry Moore's stuff. I haven't read Motor Girl yet, but Echo is fantastic, and Strangers in Paradise is like one of the seminal works in comics. It's a very LGBT friendly comic. Um, it starts. It's it's one of the best romance comics, hands down. It's a polyamorous friendly comic. It starts with elements of crime comics, which I love. Um, and it's also very body positive. Uh, in Francine, we have a big, beautiful woman in that she's both kind of big in terms of weight, but she's also really tall. Um, and then in Kachu, we have the exact opposite. She's scrawny, muscular, and short, and and there's every body type for both men and women in between. Um, yeah, and the whole you got this polyamorous bisexual thing between Kachu, Francine, and David. Uh, yeah, there's just a lot to love about the series. And yeah, if you've never read Strangers in Paradise, it's probably in my top 5 favorite comics. It's one that I think you absolutely have to read. It's a series that doesn't really wane for the entire run, and it had a pretty long run. It starts off with one of the strongest opening arcs, I think, of any comic ever. And like I said, if you're into progressiveness in comics, it's one of the first really progressive comics. Speaking of progressive comics, how about a paper cuts endorsed book about a lesbian and her ghost girlfriend? This is Monica Gallagher and Kata Kane's Ghost Friends Forever. I haven't actually looked through it yet, but I bought it just based on the premise alone. I love ghost stories. I love romance. It's LGBT friendly, and it's made by one of the big publishers of kids comics. So, yeah, I'm all for that. Give me more of that. And now we get into the big stuff. And when I say big, I mean really fucking big. Say hello to the $60 Mouthguard art book, which I got signed and sketched by, fuck off, Matt Page, by David Peterson. And I love Mouthguard. If you haven't read it yet, okay. If you like Redwall, you're going to like Mouseguard. If you like Mice Templar, you're going to like Mouseguard. It's the same basic premise where you have mice living in a medieval fantasy world where other animals are the both the allies and the enemies. Um, it's got pretty they're not deep characters, but it's got pretty interesting characters uh, that tend to play to uh, the best fantasy archetypes, including the Mouthguard is actually run by a female who ends up falling in love, marrying one of the actual guard. Yeah, Gwendolyn and Saxon are one of my favorite comic couples. Um, they eventually have a child, um, which we learn in the Baldwin the Brave collection. Um, it's really cute, but it's got some pretty intense action scenes as well. And Dave Peterson's artwork is maybe the most beautiful artwork in comics today. Like, that line work is so fucking detailed that I understand that why I paid $150 for the one commission that I got from him. That first C2E2. Because that, I don't know how he took as many commissions as I'm sure he did. Because that thing looks like it took for fucking ever to do. And then you throw in the highly naturalistic colors, and it brings such a level of believability to the entire scenario. If you haven't read Mouthguard, go check out Mouthguard. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Again, you're not going to get the deepest fantasy adventure, but you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to see some of the best artwork in comics today. And now we get to the real good stuff. I didn't actually buy these. I already had them. I just went and got them signed. But, okay, the first MLP comic omnibus, which I had signed by Amy Memberson at the top and Andy Price at the bottom, with the little sarcastic raspberry and Applejack, which is adorable. And the actual MLP art book, which I had signed by Amy with Pinkie Pie. Well, no, actually, Sarah, because Amy's not actually in the book. I don't honestly know why. But Sarah Richards at the top with Pinkie Pie. Let's see here. Jay Foggett with more Pinkie Pie. Andy Price with Chrysalis. Because he actually screwed up the date originally. He tried to put 2017 instead of 2018, and he's got Chrysalis telling him off down here like, it's not 2017, you idiot, get with it. And then down here, we got Tom Zoller, who actually isn't in here, but I thought was. I don't know why. I think I thought that I actually grabbed one of the Friends Forever collections to bring with and have him sign, but I didn't. But thankfully he signed this anyway, and I think he'll be in Volume 2 later this year. So if he's there next year, I can have him sign it legit. Oh yeah, one of the prints that I got is also from him, which he signed. So that's legit. So that makes up for my faux pas. But yeah, anyways, that's all that I got this year, except for the artwork, which I said you guys will see soon. Um, thank you all for letting me indulge myself a bit, and I will see you guys later, probably with a reaction of some kind. And if you're wondering about, I haven't seen any of the new episodes yet. Obviously, I am like 3.5 seasons behind at this point. Well, no, 3.5 seasons would put me in the middle of season 4. I actually made it through season 4. Um, Basically, I stalled out in the middle of season 5. And I've caught little bits and pieces, like an episode here, an episode there, but nothing to actually make a full season all the way through. I've kept up with some conversations and some talk for certain episodes, of course, or watched episodes that people have been suggesting to me. But yeah, I'm way behind. And I actually thought I was going to catch up with this vacation, and I kind of didn't. Oops. But I actually have a script for a review of the movie prequel comic already done. The thing is, I also want to do the movie itself. Maybe the soundtrack. I think I've said this before. And the prequel novel. And kind of make a theme month out of the movie. Which I know that ship sailed a long time ago, but here we are. Instead, what if I don't ever get around to that? We got the Equestria Girls web series to catch up on, as well as Celestia's Fundamentals of Magic, which I haven't talked about in video yet, but is something that I'm glad that they've actually done, because I've been begging for it for years, because I know MLP is a fantasy series second and a slice of life comedy first, but it's always irked me that this show doesn't seem to follow the conventions of fantasy series at all, which is establish the rules of your fucking world first and then build from there. That is commandment number 1 in every fantasy writing book I have ever seen. So now we actually get to know the mechanics and the rules for how magic in Equestria works. It's only taken them 8 fucking years to get here, but I am glad that we are actually here. And the fact that both of these are short based web series means I could actually turn them into a reaction series if I don't turn them into review series, which I probably won't, because again, they're each of them. Well, the Equestria Girls web series is started to get longer episodes because it's focusing a lot on Sunset's journey right now. But those early ones averaged about 3 minutes long, which is about how long the Fundamentals of Magic averages out to as well, which isn't really a whole lot of material to base reviews on, but it's enough material to base a reaction series on. So maybe I can get back into the swing of things with that. Just a thought, just something I'm thinking about. But yeah. So again, thank you for letting me indulge. I will see you guys later. Bye.